Hey, welcome everybody to Graded Point Live. Piper has something to say.
Sorry.
hmm This ain't a meme this time. She know what she did. Yep, we are all collectively shaking our heads right now.
Or no.
Mm, mm,
2 days from her birthday, and she starts a wildfire again.
Just like last year. With one goddamn tweet.
What did you do this time? Every time. Every freaking time.
Okay. So what I did this time
Mhm.
was someone I'm friends with posted screenshots of the cherry person being
Mhm.
vile as fuck.
Which we all saw, yes.
Yeah. And I'd retweeted that with my opinion on it, which was,
It's vile shit.
yeah, it's vile as fuck.
Mhm.
And I made the mistake of saying on my fucking, what comes across my timeline and shit, right?
Mhm.
Made the mistake of saying I have not personally seen shit this vile coming from the other side
Mhm.
of, whoever Cherry's against.
Mhm.
That's, I think, where I went wrong. No, I think just saying it was vile is probably where I went wrong.
Yeah.
So, yeah, then for, I guess, like 2 days.
Yeah.
Yeah, about 2 days. I have had lots and lots and lots of people trying to, I think, explain lots of things.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, since there was so much going on and it got taken in so many different directions, I got lost pretty quick, and that made things worse. Because then I'm in a different thread going, well, I thought so and so did such and such, and now I'm a liar.
Mhm. Yep.
So it's been interesting and educational for somebody that really didn't want to get that deep like into drama, which is why I said that I've only seen what I've seen. Because I'm not gone and looking for stuff.
May I make a comment?
Yeah.
Make a comment. Hey, cherries. When you want somebody to, kind of see your side of things, don't do what you did.
Seriously.
You don't look like the most sane individuals when you do it the way you did it. You're all liars, by the way. I know the truth. I've been Piper. I think Piper trusts me pretty well, and knows I wouldn't steer her wrong.
Yep. I mean,
And
whenever I ask for like to see where whatever came from,
mhm.
you definitely have wherever it came from.
Yeah. And so, don't bullshit her.
Yeah.
Don't bullshit her. Come on. Um. Yeah, that's all I got to say about that.
Well, the other, I do want to share the observation of, since the original tweet said, I haven't seen stuff that vile coming from the other side, because I do follow people on all of the sides.
Mm-hmm.
To add to that, the reaction while everybody on every side was explaining every little, I don't know, all sorts of stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Only one group of friends were nasty about it. Not my friends, but they're friends with each other. So only a select group of people were nasty about
Yep.
trying to get me up to speed on who did what.
Mm-hmm. I believe there was one who just straight up called you a lying whore.
Oh my god, I was two-faced.
Mm-hmm.
All sorts of shit. Because yeah, I mean, like I said, I do have friends on all sides, but that's how I see what I see.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time.
God forbid you have a nuanced opinion.
Yeah. At least from like a lot of this is just I'm coming from my morals, I guess, moral standpoint.
Mhm.
There are plenty of things that are just no for me. I will not be your friend if you do that kind of
Mhm.
shit. And
like palling around with Renfamous.
yeah,
And
I can't be your friend if you think what Renfamous does is worth being her friend or whatever. I don't know.
If all it is, if you're palling around with Renfamous because she's been mad at the Frogman,
that's a stupid reason to
that's a
pal
stupid
around.
reason.
Yeah.
And I will say evidence without evidence to the contrary, I will put Ethan Van Sciver leagues ahead of Renfamous.
Yeah. Yeah, and honestly, I don't care if you don't like Frogman.
If you don't like Frogman, fine, whatever. Who cares?
Yeah, I'm not gonna try to make my friends like somebody that I think is okay.
Mm-hmm.
But and I can see some flaws. I can see some of their points even, but they're just not enough to make me not like somebody. However,
it's also not enough to make you say, "I'm going to start," palling around with this person that tried to ruin my life.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say that palling around with Renfamous makes you just as bad as Renfamous, because I can see it. She's manipulative as shit. So if you weren't around for what the hell she did, then yeah, I can see how she would get you to think that she's an innocent, victim that's just standing up for. Yeah, it's understandable.
That is understandable, but don't get mad if I cut you off of my life. Because I put out why and the reasons why.
Yeah.
And if that's a choice you don't feel you want to make, fine. You don't have to make that choice. I made it for you.
Yeah. I
say I is speaking for you.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Yeah, I figured as much. Yeah, I mean that's the gist of it. It's just a safety thing. I don't want to be that close to Ren's people. So it means I've had to miss out on some potential friendships maybe, but it doesn't mean I automatically hate somebody or think they're evil either. Because again, I mean, as long as they're not participating in what Ren does,
right?
Then cool for cool. My brain's dying. Yeah, I'm tired today.
Well, yeah, you've had issues today.
Oh boy, it's been a Monday today.
Honey boy decided to wild out and good stuff. So
yeah, that was fun.
Got mistaken for a child at the hospital. Had to be.
There was two people that had to apparently triple make sure that I really for real was the parent because they thought I was a kid.
Oh jeez. Oh goodness.
You're just gonna get like thrown over somebody's shoulder one of these days for crying out loud.
Well, there was that one time.
Then they'll take a good look at you, like, oh, I'm sorry, I thought you were 12.
Wow. I'm gonna get kidnapped by human traffickers, and then they're gonna get in trouble for false advertising.
Eventually, some skinny bald man's gonna walk up to you in the hallway and say, "Who lost this sassy lost child?" Any updates on Raptro? Still chunky salsa, I guess. I don't know what the meme is.
California.
Yeah. I guess still in process. Getting set up and everything. He was did a late night stream and he was in the chat the other night and he was kind of wilding. He was upset. Because Piper, because it was after you already gone to bed. But Friday night I had to do a late night stream. And
okay, yeah, I saw that you were.
And we were talking about Doug TeNaples' spicy goo.
What? Oh, okay.
He went on one of his rants about gay marriage and how and
Comics gay is Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, that was the name of the stream. He called his stream "Comics Gay is Chick-fil-A."
Wow, that's super mature.
Yeah.
Totally. What the fuck is
So
his
he
problem?
equated because Chick-fil-A stopped donating to the Salvation Army. That basically, he was
Oh
saying,
no, they betrayed him.
yeah.
Oh no.
And so, and like I said, I'm giving you the very, very, very Cliff Note version here. He, how did it go, Mike? Oh, yeah. So he did all that, got mad, and equated it to Comicsgate being an SJW movement. And because they support, because they won't go, because of gay marriage. Now, look, I'm gonna throw this out there a little bit here. The ones that doth protest so much, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
That's also where the typing meme came from. I don't know if you saw that video that I made.
Oh no, I haven't gotten to see it. I've been wanting to ask what the fuck the typing thing is.
That was the thing because he was saying that John Malin, all he does is type. He can't he's got to be his his how do you say it? Somebody's got to wheel his keyboard him so he can type, and then he started making those gestures and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, yeah. You want to see the video? I mean, not the whole Doug video, but the other thing. Okay, give me just a second. We are live now, according to that. Okay. I'll do this. And I have another video to show you too. I made a new one. It's
yeah,
on,
where did
he has said he wasn't feeling well.
Oh shit.
Let's see, share screen. Okay, and share audio and share. You see that?
No.
You'll see in a second. Look at.
Oh yeah, you know what I could do is actually look at the
Yeah.
instead of looking at the stream.
Yeah, we don't have to worry about the stream no more.
Yeah.
All right.
In fact, we can still talk to the comments too.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that will show up right here too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, you ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. I don't care. I'll show this to the end of time. I love it.
I was trying to be stoic and I couldn't do it.
Oh, Mike, you haven't seen the new one I made. That's on Streamable. I had to go grab that one. Mike, you remember the motions with his hand? The other motion with his hands he was making?
The one that was kind of like jacking off the air.
Yeah. I'm having too much fun doing video editing, by the way.
I can't wait to have time to do shit like that.
Right?
What job is you taking that can get you more time?
What the fuck are you talking
about?
What? Well, she said she's like, I'm looking forward to having more time. And I'm like, what kind of job would you get that would allow you to have more time?
I just need to finish cleaning 2 places, and then I'm hoping that I'm going to have some time. Unfortunately, with that time, I need to bang out a whole bunch of art and graphic design stuff. And maybe I'll be able to play a video game or 2. That'd be nice.
Wow, video games. I forgot what those were.
Video games.
Right? It feels like forever since I got to play.
Video games. I haven't heard that word since. All right. I got the next one ready. Share again. I like to share screen things. Pretty nice. Let it Doug having a rave. Well, Doug's about to have another rave. I hope you're ready.
Before somebody just grabs Piper saying "bang out" and just fucking uses it over it. All right, let's see.
Are y'all ready?
Maybe.
I turn down a little bit. All right, here we go. Here comes.
DJ, you don't want to fuck with. I think it needs like After Effects or something where it just like little fucking glow sticks on it.
Yeah. All right.
It's so simple, and yet it's still fucking funny.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be, doesn't have to be hard stuff. It's funny. Shake weight, Doug.
Those things are fucking hilarious. I can't believe that those actually sold.
The double hand job trainer.
Right? Yes.
Fun stuff. So, so you heard about the Star Wars Episode 9, the 30-second clip that the Star Wars account put out today, right?
Yeah.
Oh my god, it's so bad.
Yeah.
Literally nothing. Literally, why? If this is okay, you know how when you're promoting the movie that's coming out next month, you show the best clips you got.
I was gonna say, generally trailers and crap like that, they're all the best parts.
Yeah.
I don't think there are any best parts for this movie.
Apparently not.
Doug should do the earthworm dance. Oh, that's funny. So because of that, I made another video about that. I've been going crazy. So I know you want to see this. So give me a second. Okay, what's that one? Okay. Share screen. All right. Let me full screen it. Okay. You ready?
Yee.
As will ever be.
Have you seen it yet, Mike?
Yes, I have.
Okay, making sure. So Piper, you haven't seen this.
I have not seen this. I've seen the actual footage, but
Okay. All right. This will probably get the stream claim because of one piece of music that's used. But I literally did a lot of things to make sure that the video wouldn't be taken down by Disney. I sped up the fucking footage and put something in front of it. Well, you'll see. You'll see. Anyway, here we go.
You might want to also mirror it.
Got an intro? Isn't that nice? Hold on. Can y'all hear it?
no.
Okay, I messed up. All right, hold on a second.
Yeah, I was about to say it sounds like it's playing in the background of your place.
Yeah. I messed up. I know what I did wrong. Okay. No problem. Easy fix. Share audio. Share. Okay. Let's scale it back. Ready?
Yeah.
Better. What? 30 seconds of Star Wars footage? Oh boy, I gotta check this out. I better get home. Oh man, can't wait to see this.
We spotted the fugitives. They fly now! They fly now!
What was this? This is terrible. Why? Why would they? Okay, it's okay. It's all right. We can fix this. I can fix this. All right then. Montage time.
Till win, till you die, till the light that's in your eyes. Take it all, just keep fighting till you fall.
God.
Much better.
I love it. It's great.
Okay. I'm glad y'all like that.
And
And
Rapture
no, the
is
dog.
apparently active in the
Yep. Shock master.
actively giving us edits.
Oh, okay. What's it got here? Oh no. I'll show that later.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's else been going on with this Star Wars with Kathleen? Well, Kathleen's an idiot.
Oh, did you hear that she's trying to foist all blame onto George Lucas if this movie fails?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas were in talks to try and figure out how to fix her mess. So, in the event that this movie fails, which it will,
Mhm.
because holy shit, Ryan Johnson subverted so many expectations.
When you
No,
subvert
no,
every expectation, especially
Including
that the
profit.
movie will be good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The
So-
only way that this one can subvert expectations is if it's somehow actually good.
and judging from the best parts that they were able to collect for that trailer, no, it's not
Yeah.
gonna be good.
Right.
Yeah, this is pretty much a Star Wars episode at this point. So let's
see.
Yeah, let's start with Kathleen. Then we'll move back in time a little bit. Her version of Chappaquiddick. Holy shit.
That's one political meme that I've never understood.
No. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, you don't understand it? Okay, I'll explain it. Ted Kennedy, right?
Oh,
Was
wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I understand. So just keep
And-
explaining.
yeah, the area was Chappaquiddick. That's why.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Ted Kennedy getting away with murder.
Pretty much, yeah. Mhm. Okay, so here we go. Kathleen Kennedy on difficulty of making Star Wars sequel films. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. Except for those except for literally almost 3 decades worth of comic books that you could have looked into.
Three
Just
decades of comic books, like 3 decades of novels.
mm-hmm.
We could have had Kyle Katarn doing shit, but no.
Mm-mm. Could you imagine like writing, going from that trilogy and then right into Kyle Katarn? With the founding of the New Jedi Order and all that shit. Stuff that would have been cool.
Yeah.
Instead of like killing literally all your original trio.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least if they went with source material, Han could have gone out in a cooler way.
Yeah. They could eventually. I mean, was it? How did Han die in the books? Or did he?
Actually, I think I'm thinking of Chewie.
Chewie is the one that did it. That went out like a fucking boss.
Yeah, Chewie went out like a boss. I'm not sure if Han did.
Like hit me with a moon, motherfucker. Like,
Yeah. That's the only way you can take out Chewie.
it was like he was like fighting. Was he fighting like a yellow Wookiee or something like that? That was like
It has been so long.
it's been a long time, but I remember something about a yellow Wookiee that he was fighting, and that was like they were doing a death battle essentially. And the same time they were doing this death battle, it was supposed to be like some moon or something like that was getting ready to crash into the planet.
Yeah.
And it was something like that. All I'm thinking is like, yeah, it took they had to throw a fucking moon at Chewie to kill him. Yeah. And like I said, I might be getting some of the story mixed up, but I do remember the moon and and Chewie getting killed by it.
Yeah, that's the main part
part
because
is
that's stuck
vivid.
with me.
That's
Yeah.
vivid.
But now I'm
would-
wondering if Han ever did go out or not.
I'm looking, but he was involved in the fucking Yuzan Vong War, the Second Galactic War.
I don't
That was
think
cool.
Han ever bit it. I think he stayed like alive. I know his son. What was it? One of the sons got killed.
Oh.
Post-Galactic Civil War, 43 AB.
Because his son was like he basically like wild out. He became that was the one that became a Sith and then became a Jedi again. And when he came back, he was he had to like fight off these people, and he was like fighting so hard that like you could like the actual force was like fucking like coming through his body. And shit like that, back when there was no midichlorians or dumb bullshit like that, I mean,
I would be fine with midichlorians as a concept if they were an indicator, not the source of the force.
Yeah.
Keep the source of the force a mysterious object.
I think the midichlorian would be like this indicates force sensitivity.
Like they chew on like force users.
Yeah.
Like
It's
they're just attracted to it or something.
which would explain like somebody like Yoda having a high midichlorian.
Yeah.
Which we'll get to in a minute about. Anyway, Kathleen Kennedy, who's an idiot. Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy stated that Star Wars sequel trilogy films are incredibly difficult to make because they don't have source material and they don't have comic books.
They're fucking.
I'm sorry. Every single time I read or
Yeah.
hear that.
Hey, Mike, could you find me a list of all the Star Wars novels?
and comics.
All right.
Now, I want to read this verbatim. Kennedy was asked by Rolling Stone if the final entry in the Star Wars sequel trilogy was a particularly hard nut to crack. She responded, "Every one of these movies is particularly hard nut to crack. There's no source material. We don't have comic books. We don't have 800-page novels, but you got a bunch of 400-page ones. We don't we don't have anything other than passionate storytellers who get together and talk about what the next iteration would be."
But they don't really sound that passionate either.
I like how this was very matter of fact. This is a lie.
Nice.
Here's a list table of Star Wars books I've been compiling since 2010, updated 3 or 4 times a year. This list only includes Star Wars novels, short stories, and comic books. Oh, no, short stories and comic books are not included here. So let's see. Dawn of the Jedi, Into the Void, Lost Tribe of the Sith, The Collected Stories, The Old Republic, Revan, The Old Republic, Deceived, Red Harvest, The Old Republic, Fatal Alliance, The Old Republic, Annihilation, Knight Errant, Darth Bane, Path of Destruction, Darth Bane, Rule of Tool, Darth Bane, Dynasty of Evil, Darth Plagueis, Jedi Apprentice number 1, The Rising Force, Jedi Apprentice number 2. Okay, I'm not going to say the numbers up because there's like 20 of these. So, The Dark Rival, The Hidden Path.
How about just instead of doing all that, how about just count them all up?
Yeah.
Because
count 'em. Yeah.
just count them all up.
Oh, there's so many here.
Yeah, they would take. And I'll continue reading. Okay. This is a lie. There is no other way to describe it. It's a lie. Disney CEO Bob Iger admitted they received outlines from George Lucas about the sequel trilogy would look like in his recent book. See, even right there, they had a fucking outline.
Wow. So George flat out handed it to him and they chucked it.
Yeah,
and
that was
we don't
literally-
have nothing.
That was literally a part of the sale. The sale that he, the part of the sale is like, you will get Lucasfilm and the Star Wars and all that, and I will give you a treatment for the sequel trilogy.
Jesus fucking goddamn.
Okay. Best way to describe. Okay. And Iger wrote, at some point in the process, George told me that he had completed outlines for 3 new movies. He agreed to send us 3 copies of the outlines, one for me, one for Alan Braverman, and one for Alan Horn, who'd just been hired to run our studio. Alan Horn and I read George's outlines and decided we needed to buy them, though we made clear in the purchase agreement that we would not be contractually obligated to adhere to the plot lines he laid out.
But if you're gonna fucking pay for them, for fuck's sake.
Why do you need to pay for something when you can make it your own stuff?
All right. Well, they bought them, so why'd they buy them and then just? Put
There's
them in
a
the trash?
reason why, and that reason is that if they use any of George's material, like directly, he is owed 30%.
Oh, and it is Disney, so
Yeah.
Fuck.
Not only did Disney have Lucas's outline, but they also had access to a plethora of novels, video games, comic books, and comic books about Star Wars. They had source material. They had comic books. They had lengthy novels.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Horse began publishing Star Wars comics in 1991 with Dark Empire, Star Wars Tales of the Jedi, Empire's End, Crimson Empire, Jedi Academy Leviathan, Jedi Dark Forces, Jedi Knight, and Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand, and more. Before Dark Horse Comics began publishing Star Wars comics, they were published by Marvel Comics. The original Marvel series was first published in 1977 and ran through 1986. There was 107 issues total. Interestingly enough, Star Wars number 49, published in April of 1981, was titled The Last Jedi.
Wow. And who owns Marvel?
Yeah.
So they fucking own those comics. 107, they owned them.
Is that the total?
I'm still going.
Oh.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about there was 107 Marvel ones.
Yeah, just Marvel. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. There's also plenty of Star Wars novels. Maybe the most famous is the Thrawn trilogy, written by Timothy Zahn, and included Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and The Last Command. Disney also introduced Thrawn in the Star Wars canon in Star Wars Rebels. That's right. They literally took a character from a novel and stuck him in a canon TV show.
Wow.
They also introduced a Hammerhead class cruiser ship in Rogue One. The ship was first introduced into Star Wars lore in 2003 game Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic.
Wow.
However, there is also the Last Jedi, the Jedi Academy trilogy written by Kevin J. Anderson, all the Jedi Apprentice books, the last of the Jedi books by Jude Watson, the Rebel Force books by Alex Wheeler, the Galaxy of Fear series by John Whitman. There are literally dozens, if not hundreds, of Star Wars novels that Disney could have pulled from.
205.
205. I'm going to.
That is
hold on a
hundreds.
I'm going to do something here. Hold on a second. Let me.
205 novels, 107 comics that they already own, and then all of the Dark Horse ones.
Okay. And show. There we go.
That's just the novels.
Yeah, if you look at that's why I specifically put novels.
Oh, Rapture is not doing good.
Someone come to California and kill me. Okay.
Uh-oh.
California.
That's against the law there.
Party. Anyway.
You know what I
How's that?
forgot?
Hmm?
You know what I forgot?
Hmm?
That I have a soundboard.
Oh yeah.
That's why it was so peaceful.
They also had the prequel and sequel trilogy to look at as well. In fact, one could argue that The Force Awakens is a beat-for-beat remake of the original Star Wars movie. It is.
Yep. That's
It
why
is.
it was so disappointing, though.
Yeah.
It's because that's what
like,
it was.
It was literally like, all right, it's okay. It's just it's just episode 4 all over again.
I was kind of sitting there
Um,
like, well, it's cool for nostalgia, but after a while, I was
Mhm.
like, okay, they're seriously remaking it only worse because
But see, and then those same people, that
introducing
made that.
shit
And then when they did Last Jedi, it's like, well, see, this time we did what you didn't want, and you still don't like it. I was like, yeah, because you did what we didn't want.
But it broke new ground.
It subverted expectations. Yeah.
I bet it subverted their expectations. I bet
Yeah.
they thought they were going to make a lot more money.
Yeah. Despite this obvious lie, Kennedy continued to detail the process of Lucasfilm went about to create the sequel trilogy. Now, this is funny. We go through a really normal development process that everybody else does. You start talking to filmmakers who you think exhibit the sensibilities that you're looking for. She argues this is a very small list.
Wow.
And I would argue that this list is very small. People who really do have the sensibilities about these kinds of movies, and then the experience and the ability to handle how enormous a job these movies are. So we try to be as thoughtful as we possibly can about making these choices.
So first it's we don't have source material, and then it's we don't have very many people that are good at this.
I've
We
seen.
just throw Ryan Johnson under the bus. Goodness.
I have
Right?
seen.
She's
I have
throwing
seen-
everybody.
I have seen
Everyone-
fanfics on 4chan that are better than The Last Jedi.
I don't get on 4chan, but I'm pretty sure I've seen fanfics that are better. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I don't buy this argument either. The Marvel Cinematic Universe films are arguably just as big as Star Wars films, and they are finding new talent all the time. Before Captain America: The Winter Soldier, Joe and Anthony Russo had predominantly done TV series. They would go on to direct Captain America: Civil War, Avengers 74, and Avengers Endgame. Before James Gunn did Guardians of the Galaxy and subsequently Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, he directed Slither and Super. I think he meant and Super and 8. I think he meant Super 8.
Yeah. Or no,
And,
and Slither and Super and 8 episodes
So it's of a TV
Huh.
series called PG Porn. Well, okay.
Wow.
He is now working on Suicide Squad and will be directing Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Before Jon Favreau directed Iron Man, he directed Elf and Zathura, a space adventure, along with a few TV series. He went on to direct Iron Man 2, Cowboys and Aliens, The Jungle Book, and The Lion King. Can't win them all.
No. I was going to say, wow, none of those were impressive. All of those were bad.
Can't win them all there.
Cowboys and Aliens. That was impressively bad.
At least Cowboys and Aliens, I think, was supposed
But
to
hey,
be bad.
Jon Favreau along with Dave Filoni are bailing themselves out with Mandalorian. So,
Somehow.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised now that I see what he has
Yeah.
under his belt.
Black Panther director Ryan Coogler, I think it's more Dave Filoni, by the way, had only 2 major directing credits before he did Black Panther. He had done Creed and Fruitvale Station. Now, Creed was really good. I like Creed. Black Panther did pretty well at the box office. Pretty well. I mean, it was $1 billion. I mean,
Yeah.
However, if the sensibility she's talking about is wanting to destroy the character of Luke Skywalker, she's probably right. It's a smart one. Kennedy continues stating that some people get overwhelmed with the enormity of Star Wars.
She is seriously just, it's everybody's fault but mine. Wow.
Lady. Retire.
Yeah. Wow. This
Please.
is, oh my God.
Oh, I wonder if this is where she says it. Okay. I would also argue that sometimes people get involved in the normal development process and then realize, oh my God, this is so much more than I ever imagined. If you saw the video I'm editing right now, I can agree with that. So it's pretty common that when you're working on movies, you're not making choices and decisions that necessarily work out exactly the way you want them from the get-go.
Oh, these bad.
It's been an ever-evolving process with lots of people and lots of opinions, and then you try to shape something into what it eventually becomes.
So
She then details
stupid,
that
a liar and bad at personnel management.
She then details that J.J. Abrams wished he had directed all 3 Star Wars films, but says that would not have been, quote, really physically possible. Isn't there a 2-year gap between each movie?
What
I think what he's talking about is that they would throw him in the goddamn river if he tried. So it's not physically possible for him to direct because he wishes to continue living.
Oh,
Do not deny the mouse their money.
So I feel really fortunate that I've worked on with so many great people that have been absolutely committed. JJ being one of them. He's a huge fan, incredibly passionate about Star Wars. Has been from the moment he sat down, and I sat down and started talking about this. And the more he got involved, the more excited he became. So I think if you ask him today, he probably wishes he'd been in the situation where he could have done all three. But as I said, these are huge projects. It's very difficult unless you there's 3 or 4 years in between. It's not really physically possible. Lord of the Rings would like a word with you.
Right. Or you could just, take some years in between. Like,
If they had,
him.
if he had figured out a way to film all 3 at once and then just, like you said, take a year off between movies and had them in the can, and then you had a chance to like edit and work them out, you could have probably had that scene where all the original cast was in one shot.
I'm just going to point out
Right.
the autism was so high in
God
Lord
damn
of the Rings that each of the orcs' armor had individual clan markings on them
Yeah.
and clan histories on them.
Mhm.
This man does not have the right autism for this series.
Mm-mm. And like I said, if you kind of at least film the principle of most of it, right? Not even the whole thing, just most of it. Like I said, you could have had that scene. You wouldn't have to like digitally insert Leia into things now
Right?
and shit like that. So, yeah, good job. What do you make of Kathleen Kennedy's comments? Do you think her lie about not having source material is an attempt to soften the blow on the potential disappointing story in Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker? I think the next month you are seeing is Damage Control,
Yeah.
a la Disney.
And she really wants to get it off of her and make it everybody else's fault for hardcore. I'm pretty sure they realized after The Last Jedi, there's nothing they can do.
No,
They can't come back from that. There's no fixing it.
right. I have another. Let's see if I can. We'll move right into the next topic. An old nemesis has reared her head.
Oh no!
Oh yes.
Oh
Anita
yeah.
Anita Sarkeesian doubles down, labels criticism of her attack on the Mandalorian and Jon Favreau as harassment. Wow, this sounds familiar.
Mhm.
Once we get to the tweet, I got a thought to say.
Okay,
When she doubled down,
Anita Sarkeesian, a self-labeled feminist media critic, doubled down on her attack of Jon Favreau and the Mandalorian by labeling those who called her out as harassers. Sarkeesian took to Twitter to play victim despite being the initial aggressor. She would also continue to attack the show, insinuating it's, quote, normalizes patriarchy.
okay, I'm going to point something out. She says she got 3,000 replies.
Mhm.
Now, in a patriarchal state, she wouldn't get 3,000 replies because the patriarchy would not care what a woman says.
Mhm.
Yeah, it would be completely ignored. It wouldn't be even considered a discussion.
There would be nothing. 3,000 people treated her as their equal just to tell her that she's acting like an idiot.
Yep.
That is the best, like, I don't know how a compliment you could say for freedom of speech right there and equality right there is that there's 3,000 people that give a shit what this stupid bitch says just to tell her that she's a dumb bitch.
I also like that she's apparently insinuating that they are men.
Yeah.
Because one woman voices her opinion.
By the way-
Bladder, bladder.
By the way, the last 5 years have not been kind.
No.
Because at the beginning of Gamergate, she was not, she wasn't that a bad looking woman.
No.
At the beginning of Gamergate, I had a lot of male friends that were like, if we could just like get her to shut up, I would bang the shit out of I had to see it all the time.
Yeah.
I would hit that if it weren't for her personality.
Can y'all see my cursor
Yeah.
on the screen? Okay. So it's pretty bad when this is the cutest thing on screen.
The bald gremlin.
But it is adorable. I mean,
Yeah.
Baby Yoda is fucking adorable. There's no doubt about it.
Definitely. It's them eyes, man.
Yeah.
Shame on fucking like George Lucas and all them for never figuring out what his race was called, because that's all we can call him now is a baby Yoda.
Yeah. It's adorable though. Look at it.
I mean, I seen an article discussing like their toes are inconsistent,
Mhm.
their heights are inconsistent, but
Mhm.
they're not one author has dared to name the Yoda.
We only know of 2, right? Well,
Yeah.
3, I guess. 3 from the if you include the Old Republic. So you have Yoda and you had Yaddle.
Yeah.
And then you had the Grand Master of the Jedi from the Old Republic, who was of Yoda's race, but he didn't speak like Yoda. He was more plain spoken, wasn't he? If I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
And George never freaking. The reason nobody else wants to name the race is because George is the one that created Yoda.
Yeah.
So it's really up to George to freaking name the damn race.
But yeah. Anyway, where were we? Let me get back to that. Okay, let's read her tweet. But you know what, Piper? Can you read this? And give me snarky feminist.
The first one or the one that she quoted?
Do that one and then her response to that one. Yeah, so do the first one here, down
Okay.
here. That you quoted. Yeah.
Hold on.
You gotta get up for this one, right? Repair. Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta think snarky feminist. Am I extremely tired, or is there not a single female speaking character in the first episode of Mandalorian? I've got to have missed something, right?
Okay. 3 days later.
Wow, nearly 3,000 replies because one woman voices her opinion that we shouldn't be a part of that we shouldn't be at a point anymore where we just accept media that normalizes patriarchy. Cool. Everyone's having a normal one, I see.
Like I said, 3,000 people cared enough what she said to try and treat her as their equal.
I wonder how many people said I'm here for the ratio.
Right?
I mean,
Those would be just pure people dunking on her.
yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, that was most of what it was. It was just people dunking on her. Like, you dumb idiot. Like,
Yeah. And it was men and women alike.
in a subsequent tweet, she would drop the insinuation and double down on her attack of the Mandalorian, saying, most mass media overwhelmingly centers men and perpetuates patriarchy. The Mandalorian is no exception. She then attacks the setting and the characters of the show because they involve men. All right, Piper.
She really needs Jonathan McIntosh to control her puppet strings again.
Most mass media overwhelmingly centers men and perpetuates patriarchy. The Mandalorian is no exception. It wastes no time in establishing a patriarchal setting. The bartender is a man, the bar patrons are men, the cab driver is a man, etc. The first female we meet is in the ship.
No, is the ship.
Oh, is the ship. I haven't gotten to see The Mandalorian, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. Probably, I might watch it over Thanksgiving.
I'm not sure when I'm going to get to. I just know I'm going to get to, and I don't have to give Disney my money.
We've got ways to get it.
Nice.
We'll set you up. Let's put it that way. We'll set you
Oh,
up.
sweet.
Does she completely ignore the leader of the Mandalorian Enclave is a woman? I think she does.
There's women that actually pop in her mentions and show her other women,
Mhm.
and she just
They just
like,
haven't
brushes it
debuted
off.
yet. You
Yeah.
dumb bitch. That's why it's called a series and not a fucking movie.
Yeah, she brushes off when other people.
Fucking Gina Carano is in that movie. I mean, in that show. Maybe she doesn't like Gina Carano because Gina Carano is like a looks like a feminine woman, but actually kick ass. So
Yeah.
yeah. Fucking A.
She wants all of them to look and act like butch lesbians.
Yeah. Oh, Michael Beacon says, I told her the Mandalorian isn't for her. How fucking dare you?
Oh no.
Fuck.
The audacity.
The audacity of this nibba.
Thanks for the cleaned up version. Well, it's good to see that even the media doesn't care about her anymore. Her 15 minutes of minutes are long behind her. She still has enough to stir up shit. That's
Yeah. And there still seems to be enough media that thinks she's relevant enough to report on this with poor her.
Oh no, not Anita. Oh, we got another one.
Does she still give the good suck? I want to find out.
Okay,
Please, Anita, you are suffering.
ma'am, the drop, please. Just one drop. Gotta get the one drop of the feminist cooch, please, ma'am. Please. Okay, can you?
You want me to read this one too?
Yes.
Before I accidentally kill everybody.
It may introduce a few significant female characters later on. Great. Doesn't change the fact that I wanted to complain right now.
Pretty much.
And I found something to bitch about that makes me look like a victim. So I needed to jump on it. It also doesn't change the fact that it perpetuates and normalizes patriarchy. Yeah, okay. We all accept patriarchy in our mass media without batting an eye. When someone calls it out, we get upset. I wonder why.
If what she calls patriarchy is what you would call, quote, focal point and leadership, I hate to tell you, that's the real world.
What I think, the main thing I think is I'm like, there are series where chicks are the lead. This happens to not be one. Oh shit, get over it.
I seen an advertisement recently for a show where a black woman runs for the president.
I can only imagine how that's going to go.
I honestly don't know if it's good or not. I'm just saying there's other shows.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's women-led shows, including action shows and sci-fi shows and shit like that.
There's one right now on, I think it's on CBS called I forgot the actual name of it. Madam Secretary and Tay Leone is the star.
Yeah, nice.
And in this season, she was Secretary of State, and in this season, she's actually ascended to president.
That's the one I'm thinking of. Yeah. Must be.
Yeah, and so she went from Secretary of State to fucking president. So,
right.
Apparently the ratings are good enough to warrant like 4 seasons so far. So
nice.
I'm just saying
what this is right here is what she always does. Everybody is a buzz about this new show. So she thought, hey, I found a way to get attention again because everybody's a buzz about this new show. And I watched 2 episodes and counted how much I noticed chicks.
I'm going to I want to point out something in a minute that I remember. Let's finish this article. Oh, there's another tweet for her. Okay.
Oh boy.
I'm not really sure how showing a space where man operates is normalizing the patriarchy, especially since you have the matriarchal societies in Star Wars, like the Night Sisters as well. And by the way, the Night Sisters are like, dark force users, and they have a really high degree of control over the dark side.
Yeah, they're pretty bitching.
Yeah, so that's not so even Palpatine was scared of the Night Sisters. Put that in your pipe and smoke it.
Right?
Anyway, but it's Sarkeesian, and she's got to score the woke victim points.
Yep.
She then claims she is the victim of online harassment because people called her out on her disgusting attack against the Mandalorian creator Jon Favreau and the show in general. Okay, go ahead. I like you're just getting exacerbated by even pretending to be a woke feminist.
I know. Actually, it takes
effort. Yeah. This
morning, I woke up to 2.7
1,000 replies, and they are still coming in. Well, your tweet's still up, dummy. These replies are a mishmash of no one cares. You're pathetic. Leave our precious toys alone. I'm sure somebody typed that for real.
Mhm.
Relax. Good women are dumb. Or good women are dumb. Etc. I don't think
She got
anybody-
one thing right.
I don't think anybody typed that last one either. But
No, I don't think
this
so.
is
either.
nothing particularly new, but
I think somebody might have just to troll
Possibly,
They-
yeah.
because they knew she would comment on it. Like they just like. Okay. Next.
it does offer us a moment to reflect on how online harassment is much more than sensational headlines about death and rape threats. It can also be aggressive dog piles of thousands of voices desperately trying to
Trying to silence it on me.
Dog-
Fallen.
thousands of voices desperately trying to silence feminist and progressive perspectives. Bitch, you fucking posted a public tweet.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna get replies. You dumb bitch. God damn it.
They want all the benefits of Twitter without any of the benefits of Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Look, bitch. Twitter already gave you a button where you can hide the ones that don't look good on you for you. What more do you need?
The button that will allow her to kick them right off the platform.
Probably.
Man, they would give that to like blue check marks for like one day, and then they would immediately take it away once the stock drops.
Mm-hmm.
Because Twitter is a PvP forum. There's no
really-
way
yeah.
to get around it.
Yeah.
Hey,
They're like, oh, we need to reduce toxicity, but like toxicity is the modus operandi of Twitter. It's the only thing that keeps that platform going. It's the ability to go out to just open up your fucking phone and then yell at the president or yell at your local congressman, and then they can't block you, or at least they're legally not obligated to now.
Mhm. Hey, hold on, Anita. I got something for you. This comes in handy sometimes. You know, I think a lot of more people should follow it. Okay, you ready for this, boys and girls?
Hmm.
All right, here you go. Shut down! Turn it off! You literally do not have to hear any of it.
Just delete your account, bitch. Like, God.
Oh yeah, that was it.
She could just do that if she really wanted. But I'm really getting like, it was amusing,
Mhm.
and then it got annoying, and now I don't know what to call it with all of these dumb blue checks, and sometimes not even blue checks, that will tweet the dumbest hot take on a public ass account and then be like, oh no, I got replies that don't agree with me.
Mhm.
Like, oh
my
no,
God, there's more.
it's harassment. It's so dumb.
She didn't stop. Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Well,
God.
All right.
Oh, hold on. I need to go get a drink.
Yeah, go get that. Actually, I need a drink. I need a drink too. Fuck. Mike. entertain the- Dance.
Oh, you want me to try and do it?
Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, shit.
Allowing space to voice dissenting opinions is important, but there's a big difference between calling out oppressive and repressive ideologies
I'm
and
already back.
defending the status quo to the degree that it actively works to dehumanize the most vulnerable people in our society. Oh,
She sounds like
rules for me, but not for thee.
it sounds like early like anime voice dubs when they would try to do like a
Hoity
hoity-toity, yeah, hoity-toity, like
very
wealthy
haughty
lady.
nobleman.
Yeah.
I don't know. Let me see if I can refine that a little bit.
I got my drink fast.
Okay. All right.
Oh my
So-
goodness! Oh,
all right. Here's the actual tweet.
now imagine this every single time you tweet, or several times a month for years on end. Now you might be thinking that they're left out by us too, and how is this different? Maybe you think I'm just mad because it's against my particular perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least she's almost self-aware for a second.
Allowing space to voice dissenting opinions is important, but there's a big difference between calling out oppressive and regressive ideologies and defending the status quo to the degree that it actively works to dehumanize the most vulnerable people in our society,
Oh, Anita.
including me with my $250,000 a year
Poor
non-profit organization.
poor Anita. Oh.
I'm so vulnerable.
I'm wet
Like,
now.
pretend you're a smug anime girl. See, that's what I was thinking. Sounds like only, like the adult version of a smug anime lady.
Mhm.
Ooh, 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 ooh.
That was why I was using the warm up.
Okay. Sarkeesian then claims that the end of she kept going.
Oh my god.
Sarkeesian then claims that the individuals who decided to call her out for her attack on Jon Favreau and the Mandalorian are actively trying to silence her. And interestingly enough, she is still tweeting about it and now claiming she's some kind of victim.
But you can't let it go because then people will forget about her again.
Too long didn't read. Online harassment isn't just threats. It's never being given the benefit of the
Wow.
doubt because
Wow.
you are a woman. It's never being able to make a typo or small mistake. It's having 3,000 people actively try to silence you because you have an opinion about a beloved TV show.
You okay, Piper?
No, I'm not okay. I'm fucking pissed. That's just,
Nani Oni-chan?
She would double down on all of this and receive the aid from Access Media in the form of Ken Tebarge at Insider.
God damn it.
Oh, look who did a video about that.
You mad?
Tebarge claims people calling out Sarkeesian for her first strike attack on Favreau and the Mandalorian are dogpiling, a type of online harassment where on Twitter someone replies outnumbers likes and retweets and are mostly filled with repetitive, hurtful comments.
No, that's not, no.
It's ironic.
You got
Really?
ratioed, bitch. Get over it.
Women, especially feminists, get accused of being emotional and angry and all these things when we said was, hey, I noticed this thing. It's kind of a problem, and I think it's really bad for our society.
It's, oh my god.
We do live in a society.
Yeah.
If they didn't reply to it, my tweet would have just been gone. They made it a much bigger deal. Oh, my goodness.
No, it wouldn't have just been gone. You would have reworded it and kept whining about it until
Mhm.
somebody paid attention to you, bitch.
Yep, that's what she does.
You're not, she went from
I
annoying
will
to
remember. I will point out something real quick. Nobody gave a shit about her in Gamergate until she inserted her own ass in it.
Mhm.
Yep.
And then,
I remember, Mike.
She could have stayed off to the side making her shitty hot takes and shit.
okay,
but-
so there's
remember
even
the
meta
day.
things.
I remember the day that she made her tweet, and it was all you. We all said she's fucking putting herself in the middle of this because how dare that fucking Zoe Quinn bitch get all the attention?
right?
Even further, there's a meta thing to this. Nobody cared what Jonathan McIntosh said until Anita said it.
Until Anita said exactly what he was saying.
Mm-hmm. His own like timeline was like a test bed for his own woke and progressive tweets, and nobody touched them.
Yep.
And then he would just put them on Anita's because he shared the account for the longest time, and he would just copy his own tweets and make it seem like she was saying them.
Yeah, because then you found evidence of like his tweets. He was just he would just post the same thing on the FemFreak account.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
You remember how originally FemFreak was her account,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then FemFreak became a brand account, and then she got her own account.
Mm-hmm. And
Yep.
then it
Then
was
they broke
obviously
up.
a character.
Yep, and then they broke up, and she
They broke up after she got her nonprofit. The nonprofit that was his baby in order to try and change the world because he was so badly affected by 9/11. that he wanted to inflict communism on the world because he saw people working. He thought that was something bad.
He thought working was the reason the terrorists.
So,
yeah,
like I'm not even exaggerating there. He wanted to start a communist revolution using art and media and weird journalistic YouTube poops to try and change society enough that it would accept
Yeah,
communism.
what did he call it? He had a word for it, didn't he?
Transformative media.
Yeah, that, but he had another word for it. It was some kind of what's the name of his channel? That would be what he called it. Fuck. See, now I'm gonna look this shit up. Give me a second. John, yeah, it's gonna bug me now.
It's not the Pop Culture Detective Agency.
That's what it was. Pop culture something. Pop culture something.
He called
Oh
it remixing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
It was a word he used. He was like it was like pop culture something, and basically it's like basically like you said, trying to do his own version of a YouTube poop.
Pop culture hacking.
That's what it was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it was essentially just YouTube poops that were not entertaining, in any way, shape, or form. Anyway, where am I going?
Going back to Duncan and Anita.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, he was the mouthpiece. Apparently, she learned enough to get out on her own. But the problem is she didn't learn enough to not tone it down.
Mm-hmm.
Even Josh toned it down a bit.
Yeah.
And that's saying something. And why do I call him Josh? Well, let me give a brief explanation to people who don't know. One time somebody didn't realize his name was Jonathan McIntosh and called him Josh.
And he got so mad.
He got so mad.
My name is not Josh. And so everybody started calling him fucking Josh. In fact, at one point, people were calling him Joshington Joshintosh.
That's nice. I don't know if I caught that one.
You might have came in a little bit later, but still.
No, that particular name. I came in for him getting mistaken for Josh.
I remember.
I was around in August.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I remember. Shamil made a fucking a Vocaroo. It's just him going, Josh. It was
Yeah, I
great.
keep forgetting you were my apprentice. Anyway,
My apprentice.
yes, she was my apprentice.
Mhm.
I was one of the.
No.
Yeah. You were one of the original ones that got me in that one Skype group to explain shit to me, weren't you?
No, I was trying to keep everyone from jumping on you on that when you tagged Gamergate. I was like, okay, guys, I got this. I'll explain things, and I gave her a Git.
And you
Yeah. Okay.
You were basically the alpha wolf protecting the cub that just came on the scene. It's like, I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's like, no, stop, don't hurt her.
I was so very surprised that the meanest responses I got to that tweet were nothing. Were just she's just trolling. That was like the meanest thing.
Mm-hmm.
That I got.
We're trying to explain shit to you, but it was probably like coming at you too fast. I would admit.
Yeah, and then there was a lot of trying to explain to me. So I know I got links to some stuff, and I know some invited me into either a Skype call or a hangout. I can't remember.
Jason probably would have invited you into a Skype group.
Yeah, and there was a few other people, but it was so long ago, I can't remember. And we had a chat about it. Like, they let me say whatever I wanted to say even, and then they just addressed it. Like, well, here's this, and gave me more links and shit. And I was pleasantly surprised because of everything I was hearing.
Because one side you were hearing they're gross harassers and doxers and this and that and the other.
And this and that and this and that. Yeah. And so I'm getting filled with that and reading the articles and getting filled with all that. And I was like, wow, they fucking suck. And instead of, oh my God, get her or anything like that, it was just, wow, that's not nice.
And it's like, no, you don't understand. Let me explain to you what's really going on there. And not what the media is telling you. And as Piper's eyes were open to the world and realized the media is full of shit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, where was I? Oh, we need to finish this article. Fuck.
Reminiscing's fun sometimes.
Yeah, it is. Okay, blah blah blah. Oh yeah, okay. Sarkeesian was angry, and that's why she specifically named Jon Favreau and attempted to gin up anger against him in her original attack on the show.
Of course.
Oh my goodness. I guess Jon Favreau was like, well, if we just make all the vehicles female, like the ship and the blurg, then we're good, right? That's just the right amount of female.
Oh, I remember that tweet.
Nevertheless, Sarkeesian continued her attack on the show, lamenting it for its lack of female characters.
Even if you want to give the show the benefit of the doubt and say there's some big wild justification that's going to come around in episode 7, it feels wrong if the vast majority of this world is populated by men or male-identified characters.
She's going to feel really fucking stupid if Mando's a woman. Because that's kind of like, that's a possible theory. I don't think so. I think Mando is a guy. But
He
still,
hasn't said anything, has he?
yes, he's talked.
Okay.
But it's been, a mask can have a filter.
yeah.
He's not taking the mask off. So,
Yeah, like Leia.
remember Leia from Jedi from Return of the Jedi. So
Yeah, she pulled off the bounty hunter thing before getting her ass get caught.
and stuffed in a gold bikini. Yeah.
The best bikini.
Somehow, having a show centered around men feels wrong. What? This is utterly ridiculous. It's like saying Glow or Orange is the New Black feels wrong because the vast majority of the world is populated by female or female identified characters. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's
For
pretty
fuck's
stupid.
sake.
Nevertheless, Sarkeesian doubled down on the stupid.
We are so accustomed to male-dominated narratives that it's not easy to not even notice glaring omissions.
She added,
Unlike if the entire cast had been women, I suspect everyone would immediately notice that regardless of what one's opinion would be on that casting choice.
well, see, that's the thing.
Yeah, because
about
I've seen so many people fucking complaining that.
God, I
Orange is
hate
the New
Gina
Black-
Carano. No, fuck it. Yeah, Gina Carano. Yeah, let's go.
Right?
Yeah, she's one of the Mandalorian diaspora, isn't she?
I guess I think we find out next episode.
All right.
But still, it's Gina fucking Carano. It's like absolutely all day long. See? And they even say it here. Or perhaps Star Wars fans actually realize that there are women in the show given Gina Carano has been promoting the show and featured in the trailers. The show is called The Mandalorian, meaning it's focused on the singular character. Star Wars fans aren't idiots, but Anita Sarkeesian is a big one.
If they pull a Samus on us, that wouldn't be a bad thing.
I think most people not even mad.
I don't think they would be. As
I don't
long as
think
it's
they're-
done well and it doesn't
Even
look like it's forced bullshit, which
Go back
so
to this-
far I'm hearing that Mandalorian is doing good.
I go back to this picture. I want to point out one more time, and I'm going to say this. One is a puppet with a hand up its ass, and the other one is Baby Yoda.
All right.
Question is, whose hands up its ass?
Well, it's not Jonathan's anymore.
No, it's not Josh. Josh is not. It's not him anymore. But she had some other hangers on, I believe. I think they're the some whammons that are hangers on.
All I remember is that there's.
Because you remember when she did that other Kickstarter for women in history, the real history of the women.
It never delivered.
Of course not. Why was she delivering? Mike, come on. You don't. Why would she deliver? On a product. What are you, so stupid?
Then she did that Women in Podcasts thing, which had a cover image of all three of the hosts done attractively when
So
that
was
is absolutely not the case.
Josh the power bottom in the relationship? No, he was the ride or die guy. I mean,
He was a straight up fucking super commie.
he was. This is and only in this instance. I'm not talking about him in any other instance except but this relationship. This one, not anywhere else, not anywhere else in the world, not anywhere else in the fucking universe will I say this about Josh. But in this instance, he was the alpha.
The only instance.
Yes.
Like, okay,
Why doesn't the Golden Girls have male leads?
Yeah.
yeah, Dorothy, Rose, and I forget. Blanche.
Man, these
fuck outta here.
freaking matriarchal enforcing shows, man. Just
who's the big whore in that? I can't remember.
Blanche was the
Yeah, okay, yeah, right.
really. I always assumed he wanted her to peg him. I mean, that might have happened.
I can give you the abbreviated history of Jonathan.
But before I say something, before that, now I want to remember this bitch is the one who always is bitching about shit, right? She would bitch about video games. Now, Mike, I'm sure you remember a live stream that she did in 2014 in December.
Was that the one where she was?
They were playing Dishonored.
Yeah.
And she was complaining about the butt on the woman
oh god.
Mhm.
and the way she walked. And then she fucked up because it was supposed to be Anita playing video games, right?
Mhm.
She crossed her arms
And the game kept going.
and the game kept going. And the chat went wild. I remember. I think we were all watching it and on Skype, Mike. I think you were there, and we were all like, because I think somebody commented from our chat. It's like, wow, Anita's such a big time gamer. She didn't even have to pick up the controller. Immediately banned. Immediately gets banned. And I think it was like 2 minutes later they cut the stream off because they knew they fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So, well, he did provoke some doms that offered to gladly pay him. All right, Mike, give us a brief history on Josh and Tosh.
Okay, so Jonathan McIntosh was the son
Josh
of like
and Tosh.
yeah, Justin. Okay, I'm just gonna say Josh. Okay, so
Okay.
Josh, he was the son of I want to say a retired general who managed to get enough money that he bought his own fucking island, and
He's a very rich man.
he became very what's the word when you're raised without contact with the outside world?
Sheltered.
He was very sheltered. He was raised very sheltered. And they were in their house over in New York when 9/11 happened, and he was shocked, like, who would fucking do that, right?
Mhm.
And he started like looking into his dad's library, and he figured out the problem might be that it's capitalism's fault. So he goes on, like,
It couldn't be that crazy religion that says kill all the infidels. It could be that, right?
So he goes on like a backpacking trip across Europe, and he starts taking pictures of people working. And he's astonished
Like,
because
people are working? What the
he's never had to work a day in his life,
Mhm.
and he figures that this is the source of all evil. So sometime later, he meets up. He goes to like a free event where a communist professor was like running it, and he gets involved with them, and the professor explains shit to him, and then never really hear anything about from him until he gets like arrested trying to storm one of the big what was it, those big organizations where people talk for trade.
the
I think it
World
was
Bank?
G8.
G8 or World Bank? Well, yeah, it's probably G8.
It's probably a World Bank or G8 meeting, and he gets arrested there for trying to bring attention to something or another, and he disappears.
Mhm.
Because his whole modus operandi is that if he had enough money, he could change the world enough that he could enforce communism somehow, and nobody would have to work.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, Mike, he's already got the idea. You got to enforce communism. Somebody's got to be in charge.
So he
And
figures that
he was just going to make himself in charge. I mean, whatever.
So he figures out the best way to do that is to make YouTube poops. To try and change the culture some.
Pop culture hacking.
Pop culture hacking to try and change the culture some. And then he meets up with Anita Sarkeesian.
Well, wait,
And
backtrack a little bit. That he got no traction doing it this way.
Absolutely no traction whatsoever.
Nobody gave a shit.
They weren't even going to toss him like ad money. Nothing.
Then he found a semi good looking bitch.
Mm-hmm.
who
had
who was a
graduated.
professional seminar
Mhm.
person, so she knew how to work a crowd, right?
And then started writing material for her for the initial feminist frequency.
So basically, he had the idea, she had the delivery.
Mhm.
That was the idea, and that way, stripping it all down, they had a good thing going because there were enough dumb people to listen to them to give them money.
Mhm.
You know,
But they fucked up because Anita figured that she could just run the show by herself. When you need an actual believer, like
he met her at an Amway seminar.
you need an actual believer like Josh. He believes everything he espouses.
Yeah, she was in for the grift.
The funniest freaking moment is when he when they both tweeted the exact same tweet,
At the exact same time.
and then he tweeted that but since he's a man, his tweet's gonna get more attention,
And it didn't.
yeah, and hers got like 10,000 times more attention than
Well,
his.
even at the time, she had over 100,000 followers on just the Fem Freak account. So
Yeah, and he was like, but since I'm a guy, everybody will
With his
actually
what?
pay attention to my tweet.
Well, with his barely 1,500 followers, I mean, dude, come on, get out of here.
So
Aw,
they
man.
managed to get the dream. They managed to build the fucking nonprofit, and then she dumps him.
Yeah, no, and don't forget that the whole scheme and scam with that was the tropes and women in video games.
Mhm.
Oh man, that was a mega scam.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole nonprofit thing was meant to bully culture producers in order to give them money, so that way
This
they
is
wouldn't get
how
bullied.
this is how she gets to go to places like EA and Activision and Ubisoft and places like that to
And she weasels her
tell
way
the-
into stuff that she knows nothing about by
Mhm.
going, "That's a nice game you got there. Be a real shame if I
if I
said it was sexist."
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Here's the good news.
Mhm.
Last year, her nonprofit is not making any money.
Mhm.
I doubt it will be making money this year.
Yeah, because it's hard to do a grift when you have no material. And he had the material, and he's actually doing pretty well for himself, apparently.
He made something like $5,000 a video.
Which, hey, good for him. If people are willing to, I mean, I always say, who would pay for that? But then I realize that there are people who pay, Chapo Trap House nearly $200,000 a month.
Those fucking dirty fucking communists. How dare
Yeah.
they?
These fucking commies are living off the best of fucking capitalism to spout their commie bullshit. So her nonprofit should collapse this year. Probably.
I don't
Remember
know
how?
if they'll be
You
able
remember
to
that was a
file it.
big thing going on too, Mike. That during Gamergate, it was so many, some of these feminists were trying to start their own nonprofits. Like Randy Harper tried to start her own, and she got
all of them, yeah.
BTFO'd because it's like you can't start a nonprofit as your name, stupid. Because remember that was her idea. It was going to be her name.
Mhm.
Like, no, dummy, that's not how nonprofits work.
Non-profit, but all the proceeds go to me.
Well, I remember how she talked about. How all the coding, all the expert coding I do and stuff like that. We had people, we had people who coded like for real, and I'm talking about and they were literally sickened and upset about how bad her code was.
Oh, dude, remember when fucking Anita raised $25,000 to make a Discord server?
Yeah,
People
I
are
almost,
stupid.
dude, you know what I almost did? I almost went when she put that video out. I wanted, but she, of course, she cuts off comments. I was going to say, hey, here's a Discord that's called the same thing for free. You can go there.
I honestly wonder how many people would have offered their Discord invite codes. That would have been the best place to put it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, hey, you want to go to a free Discord? Here you go. God, what a grift.
Mm-hmm. I could not believe that one. Fucking the Discord.
Mm-hmm. Wait, that wasn't to make the Discord server. It was to pay for the moderation, and I hate to defend her on that. I mean, but still, like,
At least that's not how it was worded
no.
the
it
last
wasn't.
time I had looked to get a giggle. It
Yeah.
really was. If we hit 25,000, we will have a Discord.
Hey, family.
Hello.
Shalom.
We were
So
discussing Anida, and
I know.
I was going to point out one more thing with Stephen Harper is that the best thing that ever happened to the internet was her creating that fucking block bot. That was the day that the back of the SGW was broken
yep,
yep.
because
they banned KFC.
not only that, but hear me out.
Mhm.
When they so the way an SGW works is that they find someone that's problematic, they show them off, and they say, look at this person being problematic, let's fucking dogpile them and massacre them digitally because we're not allowed to kill people in real life. So what happened when you block literally all the problematic people?
You have nobody to talk to.
Except each other. And then
That's why they're eating each other's, because they need somebody to fucking.
They need somebody to elevate and say, look at this problematic son of a bitch.
Yep.
How
So
dare
they're
you?
all sitting around in their bubbles, waiting for somebody in their bubble to say something remotely whatever, so that they can turn it into something else.
They all hate each other too.
well, it's
Yeah.
like if you remember Zoe Quinn's brave stand against all the people that are trying to get her to Minecraft herself because she drove a man to Minecrafting himself, and she's blocked everybody, so she's only talking to people that agree with her.
Yep.
That
But like I said-
the GG Auto Blocker, though, they did a lot of shit. Remember the tags that listed people as gross harassers? Obama was on that list.
Okay.
They had the head of the
KFC.
no, they had an organization though, the organization that runs GDC,
Yep.
the Software Developers
Because
Association.
what they were doing, because the block bots are dumb as shit because they require big names like people with a lot of followers to work.
Mm-hmm. And
Like, I remember, I think the funniest one I remember was I remember at one point Total Biscuit, God rest his soul, he got so pissed off with these idiots that he says, "Who do I have to follow to get on with those block bots? I'm tired of this shit." And he started following fucking like Milo and Internet Aristocrat and all these people. Get on the block bots.
well, okay, so
Steve
block
Shives.
bots,
No,
block
but
bots
in
ruined
defense-
Will Wheaton.
Whoa. In defense of Steve Shives, he is an individual blocker.
Yeah,
Yeah, he doesn't
If
need
he
to block.
blocks you, you've actually earned it. Well, that's
No,
the,
because I'm blocked by him, and I didn't even know who he was.
I'm sure you.
Somebody just posted like retweet this if you've been blocked by him, and I was like, who the fuck's that? And I clicked on it, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck that is, but I'm blocked.
It'd always be old Space Dad. Remember Space Dad?
Space Dad. That sounds familiar.
Remember Space Dad, Mike?
is that the guy that cut his own hand like a retarded kid with on a tuna can?
Maybe
I swear to God, he
made a
one-
lot of claims of shit that he did.
Space Dad definitely sounds super familiar.
he was
But
also
he was
a
the one.
goon.
At one point, they said something to the effect of the how'd it go? That they figured out that he blocked over 1 million accounts. Like, dude.
I know it costs $10 to post on something awful, but a block list of that size is priceless.
Do you think like he'll he does his like when he says something on his timeline and he's the only one on his timeline and like literally nobody else is on his timeline, he just like starts humming to himself, "Hello darkness, my old friend."
I honestly believe that when he looks at his, at least, it's fucking all nothing but his tweets.
Let's see,
Like
wasn't
he
Jack
thinks
at
like
one,
that's how it's supposed to be.
wasn't Jack at one point the most blocked person on Twitter? I mean, maybe.
Probably. Probably.
I mean, he did tweet out the N-word like hundreds of times.
Yeah, God, what a racist.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah, he was because he was always that ancillary guy who would always like take up for the women. Like he made it his fight, and everybody's telling him like, "Shut the fuck up, Boomer." You know? Get out of here. The fuck?
Wow.
Amazing.
Excuse you.
Yeah. Who did that?
That was
Wasn't
me.
What? Now, was
That wasn't even aimed at the mic, and you heard it. I'm
Yeah.
taking credit for that one.
got fucking what's his name? Strawwell or whatever his name is from Democrat National Committee over here, fucking farting on the stream. That won't no cup you sliding across the table, that's for sure.
That was my impression of the ship from Close Encounters.
Yeah. I saw a video. You've seen that video with the guy farting on MSNBC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and they kept saying, "Oh, that wasn't him," even though he noticeably pauses.
Noticeably pauses, squints a little bit, and then he farts, and then immediately starts trying to talk really loud because he's trying to cover the fact that he just farted.
Yeah. I like the edit somebody did where it's showing the cloud coming up behind him. The infrared. But I like that somebody said, they said, guys, he might be telling the truth about the cup. And then, like, the guy, the guy had a video of him sliding a cup, and the cup went. Did he or didn't he? He did.
He most definitely, he definitely.
I mean, he looked like he was trying, and you could tell he thought he was going to be quiet about it. He thought he was going to be a silent one, but then it ripped ass.
That's how it always goes. You always think it's okay. It's just going to be an SBD, and all of a sudden.
George Carlin did a bit on that. He said, you have to put out a test fart first, right? you drop a bubble out. He says, okay, that wasn't so bad. In fact, it's kind of pleasing. And then you let it rip. What was it? A guy like I knew a guy I used to work with. He did that all the time, just like crop dust you. Come by your desk.
Wow.
Like Jesus, dude. And you know what he would say? People love the smell of their own brand.
I remember when I was in tech school back when I was in the military, where this guy was he was lactose intolerant.
Mm-hmm.
So of course he had a bunch of fucking ice cream.
Mm-hmm.
And you know how it does with people where it doesn't shut them down, it just tears up their insides, and they have the Black Death coming out their ass.
Yeah.
So he's just sitting there busting ass to the point where the schoolhouse they had comes down the hall from all the way down at the end of the building. It's like, what the fuck died? You guys smell that? And then I'm sitting at the back, but I'm not I'm like in the protagonist seat, back of the class, closest to the window. And there's one guy next to me. He walks to the back of the class. So as a joke, he raises his ass to pretend he's going to fart and accidentally lets one rip.
Oh.
And the fucking hat on the desk moved. And the dude next to him, it just
Oops. Whoops.
That's
his
actually a pretty
face.
good.
His fucking face, and I looked at him like, "Are you okay?"
But
And he just looks at me, and he's like, "I feel it on me." Like, and like, is it that bad? Oh God, there it is! Oh God, that ain't right. I don't know what crawled up your ass, boy, but that ain't right.
I remember one time I was having a friend over, and we were doing some wild, and we were playing video games, having a good time, eating a lot of junk food we probably should have been eating, And man, one time, man, he busted ass so hard, and it was. We were both in tears, both. We were like, oh my God, it's so terrible. Now, the funny thing is, my pops, who's a plumber, so my dad's seen a lot of shit. Like literally, he was going to the restroom. He come by the room and he goes, "God damn!"
Well, I mean, if you're not prepared for it,
and then I can because my dad's a big dude, so I can hear him like rumbling, across the house. And he comes back and he's spraying. He's laying down a cloud of fucking Lysol. So it's just like. I say we're getting a buffer zone. This is no fly zone. No fly.
I actually have a funny story too.
I'm sure you do. Go ahead.
Actually, I have two.
Okay.
But one popped in my mind when you were talking about the test fart and stuff.
Yeah.
It's happened more than once where I was like, there's nothing I can really do. So what I'll do is make sure that it's just really,
It ain't
slow.
so bad.
Yeah, really slow, a little bit at a time, kind of the test fart thing and stuff. So
Yeah.
you know the sound that balloons make when you let the air out, but you hold it in real
little-
tight? Yeah,
Yeah.
really, really super high pitched.
Just a little.
Yes, and it was long because I was like, just let it out a little bit at a time, and no, it just kind of like started going, and I'm pretty sure it sounded like that because I was trying to clinch, but
Yeah.
it kept going anyway.
Constant like.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're thinking, I hope nobody hears it.
Yeah, I'm sitting there like in my mind, I'm going, all right, be cool, don't make a face. Don't make a face. Everybody will
nobody
know
knows
it's you if you make a face, but
Nobody
I
knows-
can't help but start laughing.
That's another thing. Like when you let one out and you just start laughing because
Yeah.
it's
It was like the sound and how long it freaking went. I swear to God, it was like a 3-minute fart. I'm sitting here like, so I'm playing cool for like the first minute in.
you're stringing it out over here. Like,
Yeah, and then I'm like, what the fuck? I didn't feel like I had, I didn't even feel gassy. So
yeah.
I'm like, where the fuck is this coming?
Where did this come from? Yeah. Like what's going on here?
And when it's finally done, by that point, everybody's looking at me laughing my ass off. Some of them
Like,
are
literally.
laughing,
Yeah.
and some have looks of horror. and all I could choke out is, "It's okay, I have IBS."
Oh Jesus.
like that. Like
I
that
don't know
was
if
an
I'd admit to
excuse.
that.
But I don't know why I said it.
She didn't know what else to. She didn't know what else to say.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Hey, if you got a condition, they kind of forgive you a little quicker. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I was like, but I said it's okay. I have IBS, which they were even more confused. And I was like,
Mhm.
I mean,
Just give into it.
the good news was that one didn't smell. So
So I just saw a tweet. I just want to say I'm not going to show it on screen, but it's Jimmy Palmiotti, who used to work for Marvel and stuff like that, and it says coming soon, and it's a page of the fucking what's that one the DC movie with Harley that's coming out.
Birds of Prey.
Yeah, Birds of Prey, and somebody quote tweeted him and said, "Thanks for the warning."
sunbathe your ass. Wow, Jezebel. Wow,
What's that?
Jezebel.
Oh, yeah. Hold on a second. Let me
Sunbathe your asshole.
Yeah. No. Hold on. I'm gonna...
Oh,
Yeah.
that lady.
No, it ain't a lady.
Are you sure it's not a
Nope.
lady?
No, it's not a lady. Oh, that might be a lady. Now that I think of it. Yeah. That might be a lady. Okay.
Yeah, because
Metaphysical,
apparently they call their junk something funny. That's cute.
So here's a. We can get this shared.
My front hole.
Wow.
Share screen. Chrome tab. Boop. And share. Okay. And here it is. Sunbathe your asshole for wearing wellness.
Yes.
Gonna read this. For the past few weeks, I have included sunning my bum.
And
And-
Yoni flower.
Yeah, I guess that.
That's what they call their
Jesus. Into my daily rising routine. Many of you have been asking about the benefits of this practice. 30 seconds of sunlight on your butthole is the equivalent of a whole day of sunlight with your clothes on. This is an ancient Taoist practice that's been around for a while.
No,
I'm sure a bunch of Tao monks were just like, hike
Out
up,
there, like, all right.
hike it up, show your butthole. Things I've noticed personally in my reality. I like how it says in my reality. Okay,
In my wow, what?
in my reality, since I've implemented this, surges of energy almost immediately. No, that's your ass burning, dummy. Like somebody said, this fucking like that is like literally-
yeah.
that is the most like some of the most sensitive skin on your body.
Where's Jonathan Tronley when we need him?
You're gonna have fucking
Oh wow, I love the replies.
Jonathan Tronley's authentic snake oil.
let's see. I had to look this up because I couldn't believe people actually do it. Seriously, it must be the head congestion that made me doubt it. After all, it is 20. Ounce of celebrities and still saw gurus advocating for it, but more doctors saying no, just take a vitamin.
Yeah, for real, dude.
I'm blocking Jezebel for my wellness. You're right.
I like that Gwyneth Paltrow has to be in on some of that action.
What now?
I like the Gwyneth Paltrow one.
Yeah.
This reminds me of fucking Crocodile Dundee in LA, where that dude's trying to tell him about fucking coffee enemas and how doing it on the regular is better for you.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, that was pretty funny. He's talking to his dudes like, "Hey man, I really want to get a coffee." Like, "No, you don't, man. You won't like how they take them here."
I like that. This is why terrorists hate us.
It makes it hard to blame them.
Let's see. Hey Siri, where is melanoma most difficult to detect? Can you imagine? Okay, can you imagine going to your fucking dermatologist and saying, "Yeah, I think I might have a melanoma." Where at? Well, it's not in the usual places.
Man.
Do not do this in a national forest. What?
It would be considered exposure.
I like this. Did the person who had to write this tweet have second thoughts? That would imply they had first thoughts.
Imagine how fucked up it'd be though to get skin cancer in your asshole, not on your asshole, but in your asshole.
Your asshole. Yeah, like
It's like, how you supposed to check for that?
yeah. I've heard sunshine is the best disinfectant, but I think it was more of a figure of speech. And of course, somebody asking, ask Paul Joseph Watson, is this why the terrorists hate us? Yeah, like yeah, I like
In my reality. Yeah.
no. Everything is spinning out of control. Yeah. Yep, that's a good image.
How to
Yeah.
shut off your computer.
Yeah. I did this once, but apparently the good people at Mall of America were not woke. Well, it was a sun lamp. I thought it would get the same benefit.
I'm just spreading wide and trying to let the good vibes in.
Fuck.
Where the sun don't shine. I mean, that's yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry for that. I'm gonna put $1 in the jar for that. That one, I'm sorry. That was gross.
I used to do this 3 times a week until the police said I had to stop. Oh God! Seriously, give it a try. The best thing I ever did for my ass. You know that's going to become the new meme, right? It's just going to be random things sitting
Your
there,
asshole.
sitting the butthole. Yeah. Maybe that's why my ex-wife always wanted me outside. Makes sense now.
How are these all bangers?
Ugh.
So Cab knows where this place is, right?
I like that. I was wondering why a
wonder where he's
serious
at right
outlet
now.
would publish this, and then I realized it was Jezebel.
Yeah. I wonder where Cab is right now. That makes me wonder. That's
There's a lot of confusion about what a Yanni is.
If there's Butthole, he'll be there. It's the butthole.
We all know. We're all gonna pretend we don't know.
Yeah.
I love the what in the bibbidi bobbidi boop is this shit. I love it when or bibbidi bobbidi fuck then is this shit.
Yeah, that's pretty
I
good.
love when I see that one.
Oh, Gwyneth Paltrow, it is your time to shine where the sun don't shine. Let's see. I don't know quite know what to do with this. Yeah, that's somewhere two shock jock DJs are laughing in amazement that the Jezebel people took the bait. Yeah, I wonder if this is a fake. I wonder if this is a.
It is
That would
another
be
Sandy Beaches.
hilarious. That'd be great.
Oh God, I tried, but it doesn't like the sun, and it's Adam Schiff. Nobody. This tweet: sunbathe your asshole for wellness.
My cats seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, but I don't think they do it intentionally. Might have overdone. Oh, Mike. Look.
Oh.
Oh no!
Oh.
Your prime minister, Mike. Your prime minister.
The reaction from my neighbors.
Have been unanimously negative.
She's gonna catch him.
Catch rock lobsters.
That's good.
Oh God, yeah. The age of
The
Aquarius.
sun
Sunshine.
shining, the sun shining.
This taint it, chief.
Ancient Taoist music, good. You know what ancient Taoist folk did? They just put down mercury because they figured that it was a life-giving potion for eternal life.
Yeah. Why did I die so quickly?
Well, no, it's not that you die so quickly. What happens is that you poop it out, then you gather that ancient silver back up, and you eat it again, and then you wonder why the walls are fucking talking to you.
Doing this right now. Amazing coincidence. I'm here for the Photoshop. That's some dumbass honky shit right there. I mean, I'm gonna as a honky, I will agree. Okay, let's see. At least lay a blanket or at least lay on a blanket or a sheet. Or is getting sand everywhere necessary in this technique? Don't ask me why, but somehow I'm quite sure that getting sand and possibly scorpions in various orifices is an important part of the ritual. Time to tan your taint. I have done this regularly since.
Yes.
All right, get the cold gun. We got to cool this shit off.
Does it really get that hot in those things? I guess it does.
Well, I think he was also injured, and they were trying to like cool off the injured area.
So he had severe butt hurt.
Yeah.
But considering it's soccer, he probably wasn't hurt at all.
Like this gif, the Star Trek gif. Sunbathed butt turkeys. Bed Bromar turkey, please RT and help some small grocery store chains in New York.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I've had supervisors. I had my supervisor out in the sun for 3 hours. When will I start seeing? Let's see. Utterly annihilating the phrase where the sun don't shine. Yeah. Let's see. I hate the public and the public is stupid. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's Bob.
Bob.
Yeah.
Emanator Bob.
Yeah. He's my buddy. I know him.
Let's see. What else would the Chinese birds do after drinking mercury? Let's see. Gather up all their smart people and then bury them alive.
Oh.
Let's see. gather up people and
Oh.
torture
Oh.
them to death.
Oh boy.
Was it Xavier who mentioned the coffee?
Yep.
Enemas, yeah. And yeah, they posted that Gwyneth Paltrow wants you to squeeze coffee up your butt. Now you tell me we have a huge snowstorm coming in tomorrow. Let's see. Tim Berners-Lee, is this what you envisioned for the World Wide Web? Yeah, that's enough of that. Holy crap. I think that's a good place to end it.
Just end it all. Just
Yeah, when I say end it, I mean like, I'm done. I'm out.
we got three bullets. We got 4 people. Somebody's on their own.
Yep. I mean, I can take care of myself, so y'all go ahead. No. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for showing up tonight and keeping us company and having a good time. Show tomorrow, not sure. Definitely one for Wednesday because that is a certain someone's birthday.
Whoop.
Big bitch.
And I literally promised. I had to promise. She literally said you have to do a show. I was like, okay.
Well, I said, are you going to? And if you do,
Mhm.
can we make it a chill birthday thing?
So it'll be Piper's birthday stream, and we'll have a good time. And hopefully nobody wiles out on her birthday like they did last year.
Well, last year they technically wilded out the day before or the night before, and
Yeah.
I woke up to it on my birthday.
There you go. Yeah. So anyway, guys, we'll see y'all later. Y'all have a good one. And yeah. Yep. See you. Bye.
Later, family.
Bye.
Almost posted.